What's good, YouTube? When the dinosaur structures came out, I really didn't care for the ancient gear structure. I laughed at the jokes where people just took the Max C out of the deck and threw the deck away. I thought that was hilarious, but it came to grow on me. I do deck building challenges on my live stream, and somebody said ancient gears, and I was like, well, I know Metal Foes or True Dracos mix really well, and I came to love the Metal Foe version of the deck. It's one of my favorite decks to play against viewers because a lot of viewers don't know what it does. They haven't seen me play it before. I use it here and there in viewer battles, and I really enjoy playing the deck. So Ancient Gear Fusion actually has me pretty dang excited and let down at the same time. My brain is searching for so many ways to abuse this card. The fusion spell you've been waiting your entire life for, nah, no, nay. Ancient Gear Fusion. Normal spell card. 1. Fusion summon an Ancient Gear Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand and your side of the field as fusion material. So nothing special here, polymerization-like effect that's restricted to Ancient Gears. The second effect, however, if you are using an Ancient Gear Golem or Golems or Ancient Gear Ultimate Pounds you control as a fusion material, you can also use monsters in your deck as fusion materials. This is huge, although it's going to make you play some bricks, lower your consistency for explosiveness, and ultimately, Ultimate Pound, ultimately, I feel like in some ways it's worth teching, but not trying to rely on it. And I'll tell you the reasons why here. When you're playing Ancient Gears, you're kind of relying on other engines in your deck to help you pop things. And for me, that's either Metal Foes or True Draco. And the problem with the True Draco card, and hey, thanks for that follow while we're offline. The True Draco cards can't pop Gear Town because Gear Town, you can't have two field spells at the same time. There's a problem there. And so I find Metal Foes to be the best engine to pop your own cards and work side by side with the Ancient Gears. Now let's take a look at the new boss monster. It looks like the support is coming in sets of 3s, guys. I think that theory is completely sound. We have 3 Weevil cards, we have 3 Bandit Keith cards, 3 Pegasus cards so far, and now we have 2 Crowler cards. And we have the next card, the next 2 players seem to be Chaz It Up, and Jesse Anderson. So pretty exciting stuff. Our Ancient Gear card, our fusion here, if you missed it, is Ancient Gear Megaton Golem. Or Megaton Ancient Gear Golem. Level 9 Earth Machine Fusion Effect Monster, 3300, 3300. This is the guy I think you would be going for fusion and coming out in the same pack. Makes sense that they kind of built it for him. If this card attacks your opponent, it cannot activate spell or trap cards until the end of the damage step, so they can't mirror force you, basically. That would be the most relevant kinds of cards, are the mirror forces. It doesn't, unfortunately, get the Utopia-like effect of doing monsters as well, so something as simple as a purple Poison Magician in defense can pop this. If this card was fusion summoned using 2 or more Ancient Gear Golems and or Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pounds, this card can make a number of attacks per battle phase equal to the number of those monsters used. So with Ancient Gear Fusion, you're able to dump multiple Ancient Gear Golem / Pounds, but that means you're playing them, lowering your consistency a little bit. If this face-up fusion summon card leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon 1 Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. And this last line is important. Your whole deck is featured around playing cards that ignore the summoning conditions. Why? Look at Ancient Gear Golem's first line. Cannot be special summoned. Look at Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound's first line. Cannot be special summoned. Oh, but don't worry, there's cards specifically for this. Ancient Gear Catapult. While you control no monsters, target 1 face-up card you control and destroy it. And if you do, special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. And if you're popping Gear Town as your face-up, that's the best. Unfortunately, you can't pop monsters. You have to control no monsters. So you can't get the monster off the field using this effect. But you have plenty of ways to get to know monsters. You're able to pop your own monsters off with Metal Foes when you're playing them. So this combo's live in the Metal Foe version pretty much any time you'd like it to be. Now with Gear Town, when it's popped, when this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. This one does not ignore the summoning conditions, so you'd really be burning your Catapult combo with Gear to summon one of these, and use the fusion to summon a really big guy. That's all right, but you're giving up cards like True Kings of All Calamities if you wanted to bring out 2 Ancient Gear Reactor Dragons, or you're giving up a rank 8 if you wanted to bring out 2 Gadgetrons. Most people have gone to playing Gear Reactor Dragon. You can have 2 3,000 bodies on board, and you can also have a True King of all Calamities after the battle phase. That's pretty good. But with the fusion card, you can often have game. And yes, there's a way to actually search it. You have Ancient Gear Wyvern, which you should be playing at 3. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add an Ancient Gear card from your deck to your hand, except Ancient Gear Wyvern. Also, you cannot set cards for the rest of this turn. So basically, summon it, but you can't get it off the field with a Metal Foe. There's the opposite of synergy, unfortunately. You can only use this effect once per turn. It's almost like they foresaw the Metal Foe mechanic with this card. It's really frustrating. So if you're focusing on the fusion, that's why Diagram is still here. Perhaps you're trying to focus on this, but Wyvern can also be tutored out, you know, by the other cards such as these. It doesn't have a no special summon condition, so you're able to use Gear Town as the special summon. So you could actually just, with this combo now, use the effect that ignores summoning conditions to bring out this, and then on top of it, get your fusion to your hand now. You're able to get your Ancient Gear fusion. Nice Ancient Gear wording. Synergy. Now you actually have a contact fuser in the deck too that I abuse sometimes called Ancient Gear Hunting Hound. If it's normal summon, you inflict 600 damage to your opponent. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate spell or traps once per turn. You can fusion summon an Ancient Gear monster from your extra deck using monsters from your field or hand as materials. It's very handy that it can use the hand too, isn't it? So it can contact fuse, and typically you're bringing out the easiest requirement, Ancient Gear Hound. 2 Ancient Gear monsters unaffected by other card effects. Now, again, we have the important ignoring summoning condition clause. I promise I'm going somewhere. During your main phase, you can inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. You can only use the effect once per turn. If this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can summon an Ancient Gear monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning condition. So another way is to summon your Hound, contact fuse, and this is a normal summon, contact fuse into Howitzer, play any Metal Foe card to pop it, get a free set from your deck, and then you can special summon using his effect one of these 2, and your fusion is alive at full power. So there's a lot of synergy even within the Metal Foes version of the deck, where say you didn't have to summon this, you could summon this instead, get Howitzer, you're burning them in the meantime for 1,600 damage. You know that 1,600 damage? Ooh, it's pretty nice. Like, I think DP Yu-Gi-Oh! Referenced the cards, like if somebody activates a strike, you're going in for the kill just using 2 materials. Well, now you have 3 materials, and you've already burned for 1,600, which commonly happens in this deck. Coincidence? I think not. So, we have other cards that can help you summon, but they're really slower. They just don't mesh as well. This card, Ancient Gear Castle, has an effect that each time a monster is normal summoned or set, place a counter on this card. So basically you have to normal summon, your opponent has to normal summon, and it has to stay on the field, fat chance. If you tribute summon an Ancient Gear monster face up, you can tribute this card instead if the number of counters is equal to or greater than the number of required tributes. So it needs 2 counters to summon these. You shouldn't be playing it, in my opinion. Ancient Gear Factory. Reveal a level 5 or higher Ancient Gear monster from your hand, then banish a number of Ancient Gear monsters from your graveyard whose combined levels are double the revealed monsters, and if you do, normal summon the revealed monster this turn. You must normal summon it without tributing. So basically you need 16 levels, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 2, 4, 6, 8, to do this. Now, I guess you could be playing trade-ins and stuff and playing more of the 8 build and concentrating on 8s. You have Cypher, Full Armor, Dark Matter. I just don't know that it's that good or any good for you to be doing that, but there's different ways to explore the deck now with the fusion if you're concentrating on fusing, because this boss monster over here is really good. It's able to attack 3 times without having to attack monsters. Nani? It's pretty good when it got revealed, the Megaton Ancient Gear. Like, I actually thought, but we need a way to bring it out. Here's the way to bring it out. So I just think that there's plenty of ways to ignore summoning conditions in this deck. That's pretty cool. So you can run these, but just consider, you're going to be running 3 giant bricks at least. 3 at least. If you're trying to use 3 full materials for your one boss monster in your extra deck. Maybe even 4 depending, but he uses any Ancient Gear monsters and doesn't get a boost off of using an Ancient Gear Golem, the Chaos Ancient Gear unit. I just think the better card really has to be, abusing the fusion. It should be maybe a one-of that you can search at any point in time, depending on the engine you're running to pop your cards. I just personally think the deck runs smooth as is, but this does help it. You just got to consider your builds and how to. So, if you're an Ancient Gear duelist, tell me how you're going to be using it. Tell me your plans for this card. Are you excited for it? Was it not enough? I really think it should have been, if you're using an Ancient Gear Golem as a fusion material, use it, but maybe that's a bit abusive. Maybe that would be too busted. Like, maybe it should have had like a Shadow fusion-like effect or Odd Eyes fusion-like effect of if they control so many monsters, if they have so many things. But again, these extra deck cards are so powerful. I can see why they limited it. It's just frustrating as somebody who likes the deck, a fan of the deck, to see it work that way. Thanks for watching, guys. And if there's anything I missed, do let me know in the comment section below of how you would be summoning these cards, ignoring their summoning conditions. But I think I hit everything on the head of what I would be playing. But I can be wrong, guys. Let me know.